Ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Bruiser Bubba, aka ET, Eric Tyler Mullins, and I am still the general manager of UCWA, Undisputed Championship Wrestling Alliance. Now, yesterday I had meant to make an announcement of who was going to be taking over the reins of being the general manager at Reignition. And let's just say that this man went through 3 wars yesterday. He fought the man of salvation, Channing Steele. He fought the deceiver. And he was in a fatal 4-way elimination match for the UCWA World Heavyweight Championship in the Deathclock setting. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you haven't figured it out by now. The new general manager of UCWA, beginning at Reignition when I retire, will be the Black Sheep, Mikey Reedy. I'm going to give you a couple reasons why I made the decision for Mikey Reedy to be the general manager. First of all, Mikey Reedy is very confident in himself. He knows how to bring out not only the best in himself, but the best in his opponents. He goes out there and competes 100% willing, able to win at all costs. And I respect that very much. The second reason why I'm making Mikey Reedy the general manager is because he's a man that can make great wrestling matches very similar to myself. You see, Mikey Reedy reminds me of a younger version of myself. And a lot of people would be surprised to hear that, and they're thinking, well, E.T., didn't you mentor Logan Price? Yes, I have mentored the owner of this company, Logan Price. But I see a lot of potential in Mikey Reedy. So therefore, starting at Reignition, Mikey Reedy will be the new general manager of UCWA. And that is all I have to say about that. Now, let's talk about Deathclock yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. What an event it was. I mentioned earlier we seen the man of salvation, Channing Steele, take on the self-proclaimed SOS, aka the Black Sheep, Mikey Reedy. Now, this contest was back and forth. We seen a diving crossbody from the steps. We seen clotheslines, arm wrenchers, power slams, just a lot of great maneuvers in this matchup. Ultimately, it took 2 spears and an F5 to put away Mikey Reedy, but Channing Steele would pick up the victory in match number 1. And he looked strong going into the next event, which is known as Headstrong, which I will not be at. I will be at Reignition. I'm going to let Logan Price and Mikey Reedy and all of the others run that event known as Headstrong, and Clay Mercer as well. The second matchup of Deathclock was a number 1 contenders match between the Black Sheep, Mikey Reedy, and the Deceiver. Now, this matchup was not for the weak of heart. Mikey Reedy had just went through a war with the man of salvation, Channing Steele, and he came out to prove a point. Early on, he was very dominant in this matchup, but the Deceiver came back valiantly. Very similar moves in this matchup: arm wrenchers, clotheslines, running knees, just a lot of great maneuvers in this matchup. Mikey Reedy would try to go for the Reedy Revolver, but it was reversed, and Logan Price, aka the Deceiver, would hit the Deceiver's Deception, as I coined it yesterday, to become the number 1 contender for the Valor Championship. Now, the Valor Champion, Clay Mercer, ironically was the referee for this match, which really I thought brought a very interesting dichotomy to the matchup. Wide array of styles and opinions in this matchup. At the end of the match, Clay Mercer was smart. And yes, I don't say that a lot, But Clay Mercer was smart in this instance. He attacked a prone deceiver, tried to take him out early with the Mercer driver, which is known as a Dirty Deeds DDT Mercer driver. And ultimately the deceiver would kick out, and the match would go back and forth. Fantastic matchup between these two. And at the end of the matchup, the deceiver would hit the deceiver's deception once again. And it took two in this instance, but Clay Mercer would ultimately stay down, and the deceiver would become the new UCWA Valor champion. So this set up something that I didn't see coming. The Man of Salvation, Channing Steele, would come out and hit two F5s on the deceiver. But here's where it gets interesting. I decided to come out and wipe the makeup off of the deceiver and let him know who he's dealing with at Reignition. Yours truly is ready for a fight in his final match of his career. And ultimately, I wanted Logan Price all along, and he knew that. So the deceiver is no more. Now we have the Dark Wolf Logan Price. He keeps on reinventing himself. I get that. But at some point, you have to stay true to yourself. And I've been preaching that to him throughout his entire career. But he just doesn't seem to get it yet. I think once he has this matchup with me at Reignition, knowing it's my final match, knowing he could put me away for good, which is not going to happen. I'll just go ahead and put it to you that way. I'm going to beat his ass like I have throughout his entire career. He will truly show his true colors. And that's for the best interest of everybody. Now, moving forward in the main event, it was the Deathclock elimination match, second annual Deathclock elimination match, now a UCWA exclusive event, as it was for the vacant UCWA World Heavyweight Championship after I vacated the championship last month at Rags to Riches. It was the newly crowned Valor champion, the Dark Wolf Logan Price, versus El Diablo, versus the Black Sheep Mikey Reedy, versus the man that lost the Valor championship earlier in the day, the Chaos King, Clay Mercer. Early on in this matchup, Clay Mercer would quickly eliminate the deceiver, no, not the deceiver, actually the Dark Wolf, Logan Price in this instance. And he would take him out. So it went down to 3. Now Mikey Reedy would hit a stunner onto El Diablo, quickly taking out El Diablo, and then it was down to 2. So about a minute to a minute and a half into the contest, we seen the instance that it was coming down to 2 men. It was the Black Sheep Mikey Reedy and the Chaos King Clay Mercer. A historic rivalry throughout the time in UCWA and in many other promotions as well. Ultimately, this would go back and forth. We would see weapons used. We would see the car used in instances. We'd, like I said, seen trash cans, steel chairs, just a lot of different weapons used in this instance. Ultimately, at the end of the match, Clay Mercer would hit a coast-to-coast move on to Mikey Reedy on the steps with the steel trash can and also with the kendo stick as well. A very impressive maneuver, and Clay Mercer would prevail and become the new UCWA World Heavyweight Champion. So congratulations to Clay Mercer. I put it in the instance yesterday that he traded Valerie for Sylvia, and it's a strong trade. And now Clay Mercer has done something that no other man has done in backyard wrestling. That is to become a Triple Crown World Champion. He was a World Champion in PCW, GSW, and now UCWA. So congratulations to Clay Mercer, and congratulations to everybody on a fantastic Deathclock event yesterday. I give everybody a lot of credit. Now let's focus on Reignition. As you know, we'll have Channing Steele, the Man of Salvation, be defending his PCW World Heavyweight Championship in a matchup to be determined. I've got a pretty good idea where he might go with this one. And if I talk to some people about it and that other man would be willing to do it, that would be the way to do it. Mikey Riddy will be in action against Clay Mercer that day, and Logan Price will be going one-on-one against me. And then, of course, we will be having the return of the man that we have not seen in nearly 4 years, and that is Browbeat Bob Atkins. I'll just call him Browbeat now. Ultimately, that was my butchering job, and I apologize to Browbeat for that. But, you know, people make mistakes, and that's what happens. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Reignition coming up August, late August. It's going to be an event that you'll never, ever forget. And let me just put it to you this way. The biggest match of the day is all of the matches. But the biggest match of the day will be kicking off Reignition, and I'm making that exclusive announcement right now. Kicking off Reignition will be the Dark Wolf Logan Price against the Bruiser Bubba Ty E.T. Eric Tyler Mullins in my retirement match. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm definitely ready for that. So ladies and gentlemen, I know I've rambled on for many minutes in this video, going on past 12 minutes now, but if you stuck in this long, thank you very much for tuning in. If y'all don't mind, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, check us out on Twitter. We're at UCWA 2019. Follow all of our superstars on Twitter. Follow Clay Mercer at Chaos King Mercer. Follow Logan Price at Broken Architect, and follow Mikey Riddy at Mike Riddy 18. You can follow me on Twitter at Bubba Ty 1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me tonight with this exclusive recap of Deathclock and a preview of Reignition and the announcement of the new general manager. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much.